My name is Kelly Brown, and I'm going to provide you with a brief overview of Haiti's history as it relates to their disaster management policies and program. As requested, I've added a photo of myself to my slides, but this photo has more meaning than matching a name to a face. This photo was taken at the Miami International Airport while I was working with the CDC and U.S. Public Health Service following the Haiti earthquake. This was one of many Haitian evacuation flights made by the U.S. Army on a daily basis. Before I delve into Haiti's disaster management policies, I think you must first have an understanding of the history, struggles, and present-day life in Haiti. This slide offers a crash course in Haiti's political history. The country has been in a constant power struggle for over 200 years, and its economy and resources have suffered greatly. In the 1700s, the country was among the richest of all the French colonies, producing sugar and coffee. Plantation owners used slaves from Western Africa to work the fields, and in 1791 they began to rebel. In 1804 they succeeded and formed the first Black Republic, writing a constitution and naming the country Haiti. This ended quickly, though, when their leader was assassinated in 1806 and the country divided between the northern black cities and southern white cities. Then, from 1843 to 1915, the country had 22 heads of state, but only one of them served their full term. The remainder either died, were killed, resigned, or were deposed. In 1915, the U.S. stepped in as economic interest in Haiti grew. The U.S. deployed the Army and installed leaders that were amenable to the U.S. policies for the next 19 years. The U.S. established and trained the first Haitian Army, named the Guard de Haiti, and turned power over to them in 1934 when they withdrew from the country. For the next 20 years, there were significant power struggles with a number of coups, violent protests, and political oppression. In 1957, the Haitian army held a rigged election, and François Duvalier, known as Papa Doc, won. He immediately shrank the government and appointed his loyal associates to join him. In 1964, he rewrote the Constitution and named himself President for life. After failed military coups, Papa Doc formed his own militia to stay in power and terrorize the public. Because of this and massive corruption, foreign aid was suspended during his reign. It is estimated that approximately 30,000 Haitians were killed for political reasons while he was president. Before he died in 1971, he appointed his son, Baby Doc, to president. Baby Doc was forced to flee in 1986, but things did not become peaceful. The remaining militia arrived at the polls of the 1987 election and massacred dozens of voters. Finally, foreign governments stepped in and assisted with peacekeeping for formal elections. Aristide, the country's first free and fair leader, was elected in a landslide vote and things started looking up. But he was forced to flee almost immediately, and the power struggles have continued ever since. While there have not been significant reigns of terror like those seen with Papa and Baby Doc, there has continued to be severe political instability and civil unrest. This remains the current situation today. As you can see, the country's political environment has not been conducive to forming a strong economy, governmental infrastructure, or focusing on government policies. Haiti is among the poorest country in the world. They are the poorest in the Americas, and they have a gross domestic product of $671 per capita. They have a 70 to 80% unemployment rate, although the majority of the population works very hard selling basic necessities such as food and potable water on the open market. Ironically, the relief efforts that provided free food and water after the earthquake actually made the struggle to survive more difficult for many of the Haitians who had been selling these items. Haiti is primarily impacted by natural disasters, particularly hurricanes and earthquakes. Here you can see the impacts that these natural disasters have had on the country. Due to the country's deforestation and lack of building codes, there are many secondary hazards that occur, such as landslides and devastating flooding, which you can see in the pictures here. For many years, Haiti has had relatively no disaster management strategy in place. Everything the government did was short-term and reactive. This is mostly attributable to the political instability and corruption that occurred throughout Haiti's history. Haiti, like most developing countries, did not utilize the funding they received to develop disaster management plans. Instead, they were held for the rich in the case of corruption, or went towards meeting basic needs in the case of fair leaders. Starting in 2001, foreign governments and organizations began assisting Haiti in developing a disaster risk management system. The program in 2001 failed due to a lack of infrastructure and governmental support. The World Bank began working with Haiti in 2004 to develop a program and was underway during the time of the earthquake. Unfortunately, this project focused primarily on hurricanes. Now, starting last year, the World Bank has dedicated a $60 million individual development account grant to developing a disaster management program and reconstruction of the country. Due to the government's failure to provide services to the country's citizens, Haiti has become increasingly dependent on foreign aid. NGOs have descended on Haiti and provide most of the disaster response services. At the time of the earthquake, there were an estimated 10,000 NGOs working in Haiti. This has led most disaster response efforts, including the earthquake, to be implemented in a confused pattern, mostly because there are just too many cooks in the kitchen. There are duplicative services, competing agendas and procedures, and a failure to coordinate among all NGOs working in the country. While the UN provides some coordination, it is limited to just a handful of NGOs in the country. To top it off, there is little to no government coordination or involvement, and as was true after the earthquake, an overwhelming amount of volunteers that arrived in the country with no plan. Going back to the latest World Bank project, I wanted to provide you with a brief overview of what the project aims to do. There are 5 main activities for the project that you can see on the slide and 7 expected outcomes. The project essentially aims to increase the country's infrastructure, develop a disaster preparedness and response plan, implement mitigation measures, and maintain better accessibility following disaster. The primary obstacles to the successful completion of this project and the development of a disaster management plan will be similar to the obstacles experienced in the past. Primarily political instability and corruption, civil unrest, a lack of government support, and failed coordination efforts between multiple stakeholders involved in Haiti disaster response. While this task seems daunting, Haitians will persevere as they have for over 200 years. Once they solve one problem, they will be presented with another, but they carry on. As they say in Haiti, beyond mountains, there are mountains. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for listening.